The fans bought half the tickets by post, and then 5,000 queued, some of them for 2 nights, in hope of obtaining the rest. Here are some of the lucky 2,500 who really are going to see the Beatles at the ABC Ardwick, Manchester. The manager makes sure that every member of his staff is ready for the biggest night of the year, able to cope with a terrific audience response evoked everywhere by the Beatles. Paul McCartney gets the full treatment, the kind the fans have taught him to expect. The boys show the press their latest presents. They're a natural, these fabulous four, bubbling over with fun, getting as much kick out of entertaining as the fans get from them. Ringo, a fab drummer and always good for a laugh. We're going to have the privilege of filming a small part of the Beatles show as given on the stage of this theatre. It'll be a sample of what millions have heard and seen all over the country. When they come to your town, well, you won't need any further invitation. You'll be there. George Harrison, Ringo Starr, John Lennon, Paul McCartney. Only a few seconds more and the doors will open.
No ack-ack greets this invading plane arriving at New York City's Kennedy Airport, but the pandemonium created by the 3,000 teenagers on hand to greet the sortie of Britain's bristling Beatles is something one might expect from a collision of planets. Liverpool's contribution to American culture is something that, to say the least, sparks many diametrically opposed reactions, which starts at the Beatles' first press conference.
I need him alone, please.
Oh, it's not true, it's not true.
New York's most conservative hotel is the Beatles' headquarters for their stay in the metropolis, and it will be a long time before the august hostelry gets over it. Central Park is treated to Beatlemania, incomplete as one has a sore throat, but still answering the teenage quest for a new sensation.
The fans obviously enjoyed it over there. I assume the press enjoyed it. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was marvellous. Yeah, everything. Every bit of it was knocked out.
Even the work?
Yeah, we enjoyed it. You know, it was different. You know, working in different places with the audience all around us, and you know, it was a novelty.
What impressed you most about the place? You have time to take anything in properly?
Yeah. I don't know. I think I enjoyed the sun in Miami most of all. You know, healthy.
You're the healthy one of the four,
No, but the sun was sort of
very healthy.
Yeah, very healthy.
Did you have a chance to get away from anybody at any time on the trip?
Yeah.
You got away from me twice.
What did you most like about the trip, Ringo?
Oh, I just loved all of it, you know, especially Miami. The sun, you know. I didn't know what it meant until I went over there.
Did you ever have a chance, John, to just get away on your own without anybody recognising you?
We borrowed a couple of millionaires' houses, you know.
Well, we did. You could afford to buy a couple of millionaires' houses, could you?
We'd sooner borrow them, it's cheaper.
What about the Beatles styles, all these wigs, suits and things? Are they catching on over
there? They're selling
15 million a day.
I hear anyway that the four of you are going to be millionaires by the end of the year.
That's nice.
Have you got time? Have you got time to actually spend this money?
What money?
You get money as well.
Doesn't he give any to you?
No. You seen that car of his?
One of the things you did was visit Clay. One of the things you did was visit Cassius Clay.
He's a big lad.
Who's going to win? Clay Liston.
I'll win him.
Well,
it all depends, you see. If you go to his gym, you have to say he wins. And if you go to Liston's gym, you say Liston will win.
Yeah. What about, is there any intention for you to go back to America or, in fact, join the brain drain in a big guitar drain and stay there?
We'd like to go back, but we wouldn't stay there. We love England.
It's undoubtedly Park Lane's week of the year. All the signs here that the expected arrivals are the Beatles coming to the Dorchester for the Variety Club's show business luncheon. If you've got money, you don't expect to have to fight your way into the Dorchester, unless you're so famous that you can't move for your army of fans. George and Paul, and of course Ringo and John, were safe at last, with Variety Club's British founder, C.J. Latter, Steptoe and Son. A few days before this event, Mr. Latter had received the CBE. For the moment, the big gathering of entertainment's VIPs concentrated on the lunch. Hope it didn't taste like the Mersey. Opposition leader Harold Wilson wasn't opposing anybody just now, just polishing up his wit for the benefit of everybody later on. Variety Club ties, the status symbol in show business. No difficulty for Ringo, and here with the Beatles was Brian Epstein, their famous manager. The speech of the luncheon, naturally, from Harold Wilson.
This is a non-political occasion, so I'll stay non-political. Unless I'm tempted. I said that yesterday, and I was. But there were attempts recently by a certain leader of a certain party, and wild horses wouldn't drag his name from me, to involve our friends the Beatles in politics. And all I could say with great sadness, as a Merseyside member of Parliament, which I am, was that whatever other arguments there may be, I must ask, is nothing sacred when this sort of thing can happen? So to keep out of politics, I just repeat to you what the Times musical correspondent said, referring to this music as distinctly indigenous in character, the most imaginative and inventive examples. And I'm sure the Times music correspondent spoke for all of us when he said of our friends the Beatles that harmonically it is one of their most intriguing with its chains of pandiatonic clusters.
There had to be 4 Silver Hearts this year, one for each of the Beatles. The group are Show Business Personality Award winners, a split personality, but the kind of thing they take in their stride. It was a Merseyside shadow cabinet with the opposition leader conferring the award.
One at a time. You hand it over, yeah. Have you done Paul? Oh, there's yours. Yeah, thank you. There's yours, John.
I will also. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Barker, Mr. Dobson, and the press. Just like to say it's very nice indeed to get, especially to get one each, because we usually have a bit of trouble cutting them in 4. I'd just like to say thank you very much. It's a great honour.
Thank you.
Now, Paul.
Same goes for me. Thank you very much for giving us this Silver Heart. I still think you should have given one to good old Mr. Wilson.
Ringo. Anyone who knows us knows I'm the one that never speaks, so I'd just like to say thanks a lot.
I'd just like to say the same as the others. Thanks for the Purple Hearts.
Silver!
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that, Harold. We'd like to sincerely thank you all, and we've got to go now because the fella on the film wants us, and he says it's costing him a fortune. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Awards of this sort are sometimes open to dispute. But in 1964, would anybody, anywhere, challenge the right of the Beatles? What a day it was at Adelaide Airport. Arriving to meet the citizens were John Lennon, 2 other Beatle regulars, and Jimmy Nicol. Paul McCartney was on the beat as usual. Jimmy, of course, was deputising for Ringo Starr, who had been too ill to travel at the same time, but was coming along later.
I see it missed the ashtray.
Paul, what do you expect to find here in Australia?
Australians.
You're going to be surprised. Do you have any acknowledged leader of the group?
No, not really.
Have you been practicing up your Australian accent?
No, Colin, not at all. We can't get it, you know.
If there are only 3 things you could do in Australia, what would they be?
Well, I don't know, really.
Let's go home.
Well, I've been talking all the time. First of all, I think I'd like to tie me kangaroo down sport. Yeah. Then, son of rise. Yeah.
Are you individually millionaires yet?
No, that's another lousy room. I wish we were.
Brian Epstein a millionaire.
No, even he's not one, poor fellow.
Where does all the money go?
Well, a lot of it goes to Her Majesty.
She's a millionaire.
Everywhere in the world, the Beatles get the same welcome. Now over to Sydney to greet Ringo. The arrival of the #1 drummer, you can see why he's called Ringo, brought the Beatles up to full strength. Thousands more girls made happy. The koala bear showed that Aussie-wise, Ringo's with it. On now to catch up with the rest of the group. So Adelaide laid on another reception. At the hotel, they had to come onto the balcony. These intercontinental Mersey-beat missiles have hit Australia for a pop 6. Before long, they'll be sighing for new worlds to conquer.